Hello my lovelies and welcome to Boaty Lunch Cam, and you join myself and my colleague here, Captain Mustard, and we are in the village of Milne Row. I've just been into Emma's little shop to get some gas, and we are now going for lunch, having completed Mustard's drive and review of Lewis Hamilton stroke Nelson Piquet.
Stroke Nelson Piquet?
Oh, you've got a stroke Nelson Piquet.
I wouldn't have called it Lewis Hamilton.
No, you wouldn't have.
No, I'd have called it something different.
Yes, I imagine you would.
Yeah, but I don't mean because I don't think that Lewis Hamilton's a good name for it. Look at that van, looks a bit guppy, doesn't it?
Awful.
No, I'd have just thought of something else.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. But as I pointed out on video just the other day, your names have gone really shitty.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what's a shit name?
Well, I think Johnny Crook is a really bad name for a car. It's a great name for Johnny Crook. I just don't think it's a good name for the car.
Well, do you know why I called it Johnny Crook?
Because Johnny Crook wanted to buy it.
Yeah, he was supposed to be buying it, and kind of in honour to Johnny Crook.
Right.
Stop here, I think. Cause,
so if you owned a Rolls Royce Corniche that was originally owned by Jimmy Savile, would you call it Jimmy Savile?
Well, Johnny Crook never actually owned the car, so no.
Right. So basically, your idea is to name cars after people who've never owned them.
Yeah.
So I suppose you'd have called this one Carol Waterman.
Dick.
We didn't do the abuse properly, did we? We'll have to carry the abuse over. Now, the happy news is that it's Mustard's turn to pay for lunch. The unhappy news is that we're going to have to go where he wants to go.
Why is that unhappy? The only reason we went to the Chippy is so you could save some money.
No, I mean, the Chippy would always be my first choice.
Since when?
Always.
What, really? I just don't really get that. It's not a bad chip, but it's
Or the international Chippy. Happy with that. That's my treat.
because you have
a Chippy thing is my treat.
Right.
I don't get the opportunity to have that at any other time, and you know, I'm British. A Chippy treat is a treat. That's why it's called a Chippy treat. If it was a punishment, it'd be called a Chippy punishment. So, what did you think? What do you think of Carol Waterman here?
It feels like my car.
Right.
That's my way of saying I just feel really comfortable in it, relaxed, and like I'd happily drive this car every day.
So you'd have one of these as a daily?
Just not taking the chances around the puddle, just in case.
Good idea.
Well, you don't know what pothole it's hiding here.
That's exactly true.
Would I daily it?
Well, would you daily one? Not necessarily this one, because it's super low mileage.
Yeah, I think I would. I'd quite like to daily one for a while. Do you think it feels like a classic?
Oh, that's a good question. No.
See, I think it does, and this is something that I need to include in my video afterwards if it's not raining. That it was the cheap Rover. It was the cheapest of the Rover. And this is a bog standard model as well.
Yeah.
And it makes it even more special that it's this old, 28 years old.
It's not 28 years old.
It's 1995, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it must be 28 years old.
Oh God, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody
29
hell.
this year. Like Toby Charles.
Gosh.
Toby Charles, of course, isn't like just a cheapo Rover. That's the expensive version of the middle Rover, which means you'd expect it to have a better opportunity of surviving, just because it would have cost so much more in the first place. Because this wouldn't have done. And also, at the time this was up for sale, it was already considered as a bit of a poor choice, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I mean it had at the time this was up for sale, it was a 15-year-old concept.
Yeah.
So it was outdated. You know, they tried to update it, but yeah, it was an outdated, outmoded concept that kind of went on a mark, at least one mark too long, maybe 2 marks.
Yeah.
Maybe 1990, having survived a decade, maybe that would have been. Well, and of course that was when they wanted to swap it with ADO 76 or whatever the code name was of the mooted replacement. I think it's utterly fabulous and I love it. And the thing that comes into my head every time I go out in it is that I would happily just drive a fleet of these, just different versions, Mark 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd love to have a 5-door Vanden Pla. I'd love to have a GTA with the red seat belts.
Oh, the 5-door isn't the one I'd like.
No, they look better in 3-door, but the Vanden Pla needs to be 5-door.
It's revving a bit again, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, you can tell. It's just going along by itself.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, I would say this one is just right. It's the I like the trim level. I like the colour. And I think it's too small for 5 doors personally.
Oh yeah. So I don't know why that's kicking in and out. Purp?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean, I couldn't.
Too small.
Yeah, right.
Hey.
Too small.
I'm gonna flick it off already.
Yeah, go. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, without the rev counter, without the rev counter, you can't tell what it's doing. But I reckon that's easily doing
3.
no, not 3, but 1500. As long as you can count on your starter motor and your battery, then flicking it off is okay.
Yeah. What's causing it, do you think?
Too much fuel getting burnt,
Right.
or too much air getting in. It's one or the other.
Oh, okay.
It's probably air actually. It could be a vacuum pipe issue. But it don't always do it, does it?
No. Sometimes it does the opposite and won't run at all. Take your foot off the throttle and it cuts out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You like them, don't you? Yeah,
Oh.
it's better now.
I've owned 3.
I've owned one,
Well done.
which I bought from just round here actually.
Right.
Bought it from just round here. Thought this is quite a fun car, and then put it on eBay and sold it for a profit, and then got negative feedback.
Really?
Because the guy then messaged me about a week later and said this needs suspension bushes. I said, oh right, okay. I didn't realise it. I didn't MOT. Drove fine. He said, yeah, I want my money back. I said, I can't give you your money back. It's sold at sea. And then he was banging on about that if you don't give me what I think the car's actually worth, then I'm giving you negative feedback. And he just kept on going on and ringing up. So eventually, I think I sold it for £420 nearly 10 years ago.
Right.
And he said it's worth £360.
Right.
So I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll just give you £60, then no, £70 I get back. And then he still left me negative feedback.
What an asshole.
I know.
Do you know one of the lovely things about this car?
The driver.
I put a video on YouTube and somebody commented, I knew this car when it was new.
Yeah, that is quite nice when that happens. What the fuck?
That is sensational. Gosh. Our bearded brethren do have
well, they just park. We could park here.
we could park it.
If you're happy with it there, it's a bit. Oh gosh, it doesn't half bounce, doesn't it? It's lovely. As long as we want to, your phone's not displayed. We're going to have people that prefer one or the other, and will naturally assume the other's not of any use.
Yeah. Right. We are now on our way back to the yard, and I'm going to get out of the way of this man who is making a right fuck up of trying to reverse him to death.
Yeah.
A right fuck up. And let me repeat that. He is making what I can only... Have you moved this seat?
No, I didn't actually.
Well, somebody has.
Yeah, it'll be you.
You moved that seat. Only... How small...
Sit before.
How small are you that in a metro you actually moved the seat forward? That is ridiculous. Right, at this junction, my loves, I have no option but to turn right because, quite honestly,
it's
a one-way street. Yeah.
Well, there isn't really room in the back at all, is there?
I think, honestly, in the rear of the metro, it would be one prostitute at a time. You're never going to do two.
Helpful.
Now, I don't know if it's true or not, because she doesn't always tell the absolute truth. But Lisa Postlethwaite claims to hold the world record for the number of men orally pleasured in the back of a metro.
Oh, what that she's done?
Yeah.
They had a crash.
Oh.
No.
No.
Doesn't look like it, does it? Well, it sort of does. Lisa
Maybe-
Postlethwaite.
Maybe it's one of those fake crashes where they're trying to do an insurance fakey scam.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe one of those new contactless crashes.
See, the thing about
That'll be the new way of crashing in the next generation, where no contact is made, but the feelings are still hurt. Did somebody nearly crash into you? You could make a claim.
I think it'll all be virtual, won't it? In the what do you call it? Metaverse. You can crash without having to leave your bedroom.
Yeah.
See, of course, we were talking about the Rover 25 earlier, and this being the Mark IV, you've got full Rover 25 switchgear, as in stalks here,
Yep.
and Rover 25 seats. Yeah.
R3 seats.
Yeah.
Front.
Yeah.
But not rear.
No. I say it's rather marvellous. I mean, it's lovely when it's behaving himself like this.
Have a word with your car.
Oh, I'm looking forward to lunch.
Me too.
We can have a nice discussion.
Yeah, a nice discussion.
I'm looking forward to the live stream as well. Huddersfield. How you doing, Betty? Huddersfield. Nice.
Nice one, mate.
Milk your own cow.
What, the UPS van?
Tractor.
What would you prefer to drive, that tractor or that Scodieti?
Tractor.
What would you prefer to drive, the tractor or that Renault in front of us, that black one?
What Renault?
That Renault Megane there.
Oh, is that a Renault again?
Well, no, it's a Mercedes, isn't it? But it looks just like a Megane.
Oh, I love the Merc. I drove a new Merc before Christmas, and it was a weird experience. I didn't know how to drive it.
Did you know?
I didn't know how to start it. I didn't know how to make it go.
Didn't know how to make it stop.
I knew how to make it stop,
That's good.
but I didn't know.
That's the best bit. That's the most important bit, isn't it?
But I didn't know how to make it like secure in the post stop. Like
Oh, the handbrake.
putting it. Yeah, didn't know how to use handbrake. Didn't know how to put it into park because it had nothing that I was used to. Nothing that I was familiar with.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I'm very familiar with this.
Well, that's it. You know, a car like this, you don't have to figure out anything, do you? It's just there.
Have you owned a Metro?
Yeah.
See, I would love to have an early Metro with the, you know, that archetypal Austin dash that you had in the Maestro and the Montego as well, and you had that we haven't got it on this one, but in the panel of big thingies, you had the one with the picture of a caravan on it, and you never knew what that really was for.
Right, yeah. I had an A-Reg, a black A-Reg.
Oh, that is an early one.
Yeah, and I think I had a B-Reg MG Metro.
Oh, did you?
It was silver as well. Silver
Oh.
with red bits.
Oh, that's what I want more
Yeah.
than.
The silver with red piping on the seats. I can't remember whether it had a red carpet or not.
I really wanted that one at the Rover 63 house. I wonder if I've still got their details.
Oh, well, there's a point I need you to contact
Oh, what?
about the ABS sensor to find out whether they replaced it or not. Because if they have, well, this is a conversation for just you and me. It's not particularly private, but
To me, the obvious thing, we can't be the first people who've had to face this situation. So I will go onto the 600 forum tonight and I will say, does anybody know which is the correct ABS sensor for a 623? Has anybody ever replaced one? Somebody will have. Somebody will know. Forums are the font of all knowledge. There's nothing that you can't find out through a Facebook group or forum. If you've got a disease that needs diagnosing, Facebook.
oh yeah,
Your friend.
internet diagnostics.
Did you find the lack of power steering a problem?
No, not a problem.
There we go.
Did you?
No,
Right.
I like it.
What, you like not having power steering?
Yeah. Right, next up, lunch.